Julie Weintraub's Hands Across the Bay is an organization developed through a passion to make a difference for Tampa Bay families in need. Fueled by a commitment to giving back to the community, Julie joins me this morning to talk about the latest going on and including the upcoming event, Dancing with the Stars, Tampa Bay, that we're always excited about. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm so excited you are here because I know how passionate you are about your charity. And I think maybe people at home will recognize you or recognize your charity's logo or the name, but they might not necessarily know what it's about. So tell us about it.
Okay, well, what we do, I mean, the reason we do it is I feel like, you know, if I can use this word, God can take it away as quickly as he gave it to you. So if you don't do good things with your blessings, then, you know, it's just not going to be a good thing overall. We want to support the community that has supported Golden Diamond Source for so many years. So we came up with Hands Across the Bay, and we do a wide variety of things. It's very hard to describe, but what we try and do is catch folks that fall through the cracks. We have a lot of great other charitable organizations in our community, but sometimes they may not be a fit for this or may not be a fit for that. And that's where Hands Across the Bay can come in. We're most known for our work in domestic violence. We work with a lot of survivors of attempted murders. So we help those young ladies get back on track, build self-esteem, help reach out to other members of the community to do whatever surgeries are needed to repair. We have 2 young ladies who lost an eye. People who have been disfigured quite badly due to those attacks. So we help those young ladies as well. Human trafficking, all kinds of stuff that would give most people nightmares, but we do find it very inspiring to see how people can come through if you give them a chance.
You know, my husband and I have been fortunate enough to attend one of your events and get to meet some of the families that you've been able to help. And while you see that you truly are making life-changing situations, helping these families, share some of the stories, because I'm sure they also change you in a way.
You know, there's so many good stories. There was a young lady, her name is Jessica. Actually, she's our newest survivor, and her mom called me and said, you know, my daughter survived an attempted murder, and she's like, I think she's dying, and she's giving up, and could you see if you could help her or put her in touch with other survivors if there's anything you can do? And you know, I'm juggling like a million different things, but I'm like, okay, come in, let me see, meet her and see what we can do. When she came in, she was probably about 80 or 90 pounds. She's very, very thin, and you could tell she was just giving up. She had lost sight in one eye due to the attack that she endured. On top of that, we're trying to work for legislation because although he attempted to murder her, thought he had killed her and left her slumped over her 1-year-old in the car, the parental rights were not terminated, so he was continually victimizing her by dragging her to court because he's still the father of the child. He only got 10 to 12 years in prison, so he's going to be out in no time. She obviously was very upset about this. She'd gone through things you can't even imagine. She did find love afterwards, and her new husband they were riding over the bridge on a motorcycle. He said he didn't feel well, stopped. He passed out, and or had some kind of medical episode. The motorcycle went into oncoming traffic. She went off the back, and he was killed. The tragedy, the level of tragedy that this young lady endured would probably make any one of us want to give up on life. We've worked with her. We reached out to the Eye Institute of West Florida. They've done the surgery on her eye. She has a new eye now. They donated a eye that was hand-painted to match her other eye. Her self-esteem is up. She just got married. She's gaining weight. She's got a positive attitude, and she's doing phenomenal. And that's why I continue our work. You can follow her on Jessica's journey. And I think it is good for all of us because we see if she can make it through all of that, if you see her story, it's unbelievable, then we can make it through any of the big problems that we have. So there's so many wonderful stories you can see on handsacrossthebay.org of people overcoming things that you couldn't even imagine. And I think it's an inspiration for everybody.
You know, not only are you helping these families, though, like you brought up, trying to make legal changes as well to help future families. How are you able to do those things since you're kind of a small organization still?
We are very small, and honestly, I barely made it out of high school, so I'm just an entrepreneur. So fortunately, I have a lot of great friends that do a lot of this work. We have Natalie, who works on legislator. She helps Hands Across the Bay a lot, and she is coming to meet with me, I think, this next week. She's been putting a team together, work on changes in legislation. We had another case where a woman barely survived an attempted murder. She was beaten with a golf club. When it broke, he got another one, came out and admitted that he killed her. Fortunately, she lived because she kept breathing. In the hospital room, the prosecutors who were there to help her came in and had her sign a plea deal for him. While she had half of her skull was crushed, on morphine, all kinds of medication, she signed a plea deal. This was not in this county, it was in Orange County, and he only got 10 years. The cases we go and advocate for, we get life in prison. If you try to kill somebody or do something like that, you are going for life in prison. That's what we're fighting for. And if you try and kill the mother of your child, you lose your parental rights. It seems like common sense things to most of us, but you wouldn't believe that it doesn't happen. And the difference in a courtroom when you have an advocate and when you don't, the amount of sentence. Nobody should just get a slap on the wrist, 8 to 12 years when you try to murder someone and believe that you did. That should be automatically life in prison.
Wow, well, Julie, I gotta say, I'm so glad we got to know more about your charity and hear the stories of the people you're helping, and we didn't even have time to touch on Dancing with the Stars.
I know.
So you have to come back.
Yes, I will. It's coming up October 1st. It's gonna be fun.
We've got time. You gotta come back and we'll talk about it more.
Sure.
Thank you so much.